Welcome back to another video. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. MeiaSoQuick with the uploads. Intro's over. Subscribe before you go. Welcome back. It's MeiaSoQuick, and it is now day 4 of my 12 days of Christmas nail art series. So today I'm going to start off as I normally do with this Beetles base gel, and I'm going to apply a thin coat of that to this stiletto nail that I have. So for today, I think I decided to do some Snowman. So you can stick around. I do 2 different nails every video, so 2 completely different styles that you'll see, and you can always, skip ahead to see how the other one comes out. Okay, but yes, I go in with a thin coat of base gel, and you want to go ahead and do this. If you're going to be doing it on a natural nail, you definitely want to make sure that you apply a base gel, but you can also just buff away the shine and that will be fine as well. Okay, so for the color, I'm going in with the 605, which is kind of like a mint color, or sea foam, or I don't know, y'all can see the camera and see what color this is, but I'm gonna go ahead and just apply a thin coat of this. This is gonna kind of be my background, my sky color that I'm gonna use, and I'm only gonna do 1 coat of this. So I'm gonna put a coat on this and then cure it under my UV lamp for 2 minutes. Okay, and then after that, I am going to take some white gel polish. I believe this number is in the number 325, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put that on some white backing paper. This is just like some wax paper. I just ripped this off of the nail forms that I use, so I have an endless supply. But I'm just gonna go ahead and put this on this paper, and this is just gonna act as my palette. And then what I'm gonna go in with is a small dotting tool, and I'm just gonna use this dotting tool to go ahead and just make dots all over this nail. All right, if you don't have a dotting tool, you can use a toothpick, you can use what is that, a bobby pin, heck, you can use the tip of a pen, a writing pen, and that will work just as perfectly fine too. But anyway, I'm gonna take this white and I'm just gonna dot all the way around. I'm not really worried about like this pattern or how it looks. Clearly I don't have any like touching, but this is just kind of supposed to be like snow falling in the background, and some of these are gonna get covered up anyway, but I just decided to do it in this step, if you will. So once I go ahead and do that, once again, I am going to make sure I cure this, because I am very clumsy and my fingers are fat, and I will rub away my whole design if I do not cure it so it stays. So once again, I'm just gonna throw that under the lamp for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to move on. Okay, so the next thing that I do after curing it is I grab a nice little detailing brush, and I'm going to take that same white with this McCart Detailer fine brush, and I'm going to start doing the outline of the snowman, which, I mean, in general is really easy. You got a circle and then you got a bigger circle on the bottom. Okay, so that's what you see me doing here. I'm just gonna go in and try to sketch out the circle, and as you can see, I'm covering up some of those dots of snow that I've already done, because that's just kind of how it worked out, and just trying to make it where it looks like it makes sense, if you will. And then I'm gonna fill that whole circle in with the gel polish, and then I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom as I said. Okay, if you're nervous, you can definitely go ahead and cure it and then do it, or if you're like me and you make mistakes, you can see me getting my little cleanup brush and trying to just really perfect this shape. But by all means, just keep a little gel brush next to you with some acetone, so that when you need to do cleanup, you can. Okay, so I went ahead and cured it, just because, as you can see, I make mistakes all the time. And then I just really went in and did the exact same thing by drawing a bigger circle on the bottom. Okay, once again, if you don't like it, wipe it away before you cure it. That's the one good thing about gel polish. If you mess up, just don't cure it, and you can erase it all and do it over until your heart's content. Okay, well, eventually I was satisfied. I don't know. It took me a long time. Eventually, I was satisfied, so I went ahead, threw that under the lamp to cure, and then I grabbed 344, which is just my black gel polish, and once again, I just threw that on this wax paper, and you can already guess what I'm gonna do, okay? The first thing that I'm gonna do, I'm trying to get it close as I can with this camera, okay? I'm zooming in, is that I'm going to do the snowman's hat, right? Just an old battered, I don't even know what type of hat this is called. A top hat? Is that what this is? I don't know. Someone let me know. Is this a top hat? I think it's a top hat. Anyway, that's what I'm going ahead and drawing. And you wouldn't believe how often it just takes me, how often I'm just sitting there with my brush and I'm like, kind of like double dutch. Do I go in? Do I not go in? Back and forth. And then eventually I make a line and then I kind of deal with it from there. But, you know, take your time. And here I am, as you can see, just sketching out the shape. And once I'm kind of satisfied with it, I'll go back in later in to actually color it in and do some more of the details. So to be honest, what I could have done was start off with drawing a cylinder, a big cylinder, and then at the top drawing a small cylinder and then doing 2 lines to connect them. And that would have been perfectly fine too, especially since you're going to fill it all in black, just in case, you know, if you're not good at drawing 3-dimensional shapes, okay? But here I am, I'm filling in the hat, and then I'm leaving the little sliver not in black. And what is that, where the ribbon goes around? Okay, I think it's a ribbon on these hats. I don't know. I don't wear menswear, but someone can let me know. But that little part that's not colored in, it's going to be a different color later on. Now I'm going in with my dotting tool, and I'm going to dot the eyes, the mouth, and the ones that go down where I guess you would have buttons, but no vest. No clothes on, but he has buttons going down. I think that's how a snowman works. I don't know why there's buttons going down, but the snowman is going to have buttons going down, okay? And yeah, there you go. Now, as you can see, I've also grabbed this red, and I am filling in that little ribbon that I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but that is where I'm going to go ahead. And then I'm also going to go ahead and take this 328, which is an orange, and I'm going to draw a triangle carrot nose for my snowman. Okay, and at this point, yes, you want to go ahead and cure it, and you could choose to be done with the snowman at this point right here, and it would look, you know, all good, or you can add stick arms if you choose to, but I'm a little extra, as you probably known already, and so my snowman is a little cold, and so he's going to get a nice little neck scarf. So what I'm going to do is, it's going to be a striped scarf, so I'm just going in with this red, and I'm making some little, I don't know, slashes, if you will, just straight down. And if it's a looping scarf, you'll see that I make some vertical lines, and then I'm going to do a couple horizontal lines where the scarf is going to kind of like fall onto the front of my snowman. Once I've got that, I'm going to go in with this dark green color, and that will be the other colors that just go in to fill in the scarf. So once again, I'm just going to go down and fill in those little slashes in between the red color and just kind of tie it all together so that my snowman has a nice scarf. Okay, clearly my snowman is going to need some help removing his scarf and removing his hat because I didn't draw him with arms. I don't know. Like, I think it looks fine though. But if you want arms, by all means, grab some brown and you can give him some stick arms. But I was actually happy with this, and I think that it came out pretty good. So the last thing I did was just apply a shiny gel top coat by Beetle's Gel Polish, and this is my snowman. What do you think, right? I think it came out really good, and it's super easy. So all of you guys at home watching this, you should be able to do this too, as long as you can see. And if you can't see, get some glasses like I can. Okay, round two. Round two, I decided I wanted to do Frosty the Snowman. Okay, you know, the one that came alive. So I'm starting off with this gray. This is color 343. And I'm just going to do a thin coat of that on this nail as well and cure that. And then once I cured that, I decided, okay, I wanted to kind of look a little shiny in the background. So I grabbed this 612. It's kind of like a, well, it is a hollow glitter and kind of a lightish blue gel base, if you will, transparent base. So once I got that on there, I once again cured it, and now I'm ready to start this, almost the same steps. Okay, so I'm taking 325, and what do you know, I'm gonna start off drawing a circle. Okay, can snowmans be any other shape? I don't know, the things that just randomly pop in your mind. Okay, so I wanted Frosty to be bigger, so I'm not doing his whole body, but for the most part I'm going to do a very giant head. As you can see here, this moon looking head is going to be Frosty's head, and then I'm going to do part of his body. I just made some lines and I'm just going to fill it in with the actual brush directly straight out of the bottle. Okay, I let that cure for 2 minutes, and now I'm ready to go on with some details. So just like our last snowman, I'm going to start off by actually outlining this snowman. I'm going to outline Frosty in the black, the same black that I use. I'm honestly just using the same palette. So I'm going to outline all the way around, and at the top you'll see that his head looks a little bit like it's dented in. That's because Frosty also wears a hat, okay? He wears a pretty beat up kind of hat, but he wears a hat, and so that is just where my outline of my hat will begin. And I'm just gonna go once again and draw that out. So it's a very similar hat. It has straight up brim with a little ribbon that's tied around it, except for Frosty also has a flower in his hat. Okay, but I'm getting ahead of myself. As you can see, the hat is here, and then you can actually just go ahead and leave that way because his hat is actually gray, and you can just go ahead and fill in the ribbon part with the black gel polish. And if you are, once again, nervous that you're going to mess something up, go ahead and cure it. And if you're not, you can go ahead and move on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do everything that has to deal with black. So I'm going to do these big eyes. Okay, Frosty has really, really big eyes, as well as a round nose, like a big Rudolph-like nose, and then a nice happy smile. And so I'm going to draw that face on there, and then I'm also going to go in and fill in his pupil or irises, or you get it, eyeballs. Okay, and voila, it's starting to actually look like something. Okay, have any of you guys ever seen the like super old cartoon of Frosty the Snowman? All right, next I'm getting my dotting tool, just because once again I'm a perfectionist, and I'm gonna take that same red that I took on my previous snowman, and I'm just boop right there on his nose, and now Frosty's got a nose. All right, and the next step, as I told you, Frosty has a flower in his hat, so I just kind of have this pink, and I'm just dotting all the way around and kind of dragging it back to the center to kind of make it look like a little flower. Okay, I don't know what kind of flower this is. It's not really my forte, but for today's sake, we'll just call it a lily, a pink lily. And that I went ahead and drew, and then I also added the little white shiny dots in Frosty's eyes, and I think it made this whole look really, really come together. I also did some details to fill in his mouth, as well as I took that base gray and I filled in the little empty parts of his hat that were yet to be filled in, so they kind of blend in with the background. I let that cure, and then I went in with the shiny gel top coat, and this is what it looks like. That is our Frosty the Snowman. So here are both my snowmen side by side, and you tell me, which one do you like better? Do you like Mr. Generic, or do you like old-fashioned Frosty? All right, let me know in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next several days. I still got, oh my God, I don't know, 7, 8 more days. But feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.